What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another skilling related video, which you know means I have to start the intro with my obligatory skill cape emote. And this time we're going to be diving into agility. And agility, it's a pretty cool skill. It's everyone's favorite to train in the game. Gives you a lot of nice benefits. And specifically, we're going to talk about the shortcuts here. Now, there's a ton of nice ones. You can cut off massive sections of whole dungeons. You can get to Zulrah and do your kills faster without using teleports. But in all the shortcuts in this game, there's also a number of ones that are absolutely garbage. And those are the ones we're going to count through today. So here we have the top 10 worst agility shortcuts in old school RuneScape. Let's check it out. Kicking it off right here at number 10, we're going to immediately over-deliver. That's just how we do it on this channel. That's right, it's not a top 10, it's a top 13, because all three of these Falador shortcuts are garbage. Boom, look at this. 1, 2, 3. Quick side note here, I don't know why a massive city like Falador with a huge White Knight guard presence has weaknesses like this in their outer walls. It'd be super easy to raid this thing. It's looking worse than Helm's Deep out here. Anyway, none of these get you to really any important points. Let's kick it off with the first one right here. It's kind of quick access, I guess, between the crafting guild and the gym shop. If you wanted to do that, or if you wanted to run all the way from the Falador Bank to Remington, you could do that, I guess, if you're feeling it. Requires level 26 agility to just go through a quick hole here. I'm pretty sure most RuneScape players could do that, even though we're incredibly unathletic. Probably shouldn't be a level requirement at all. Now we can run out here to the next break in the wall without even breaking this clip, because they're so close by. Again, security is awful in this town, but you know, you want to make a quick route from where we just were to the makeover mage. Actually, it'd be quicker not to use this, but maybe you want some tin ore or whatever. You're feeling like going over this wall. You're going to need level 5 agility, and it's going to take you to this highly desirable part of the middle of nowhere. I guess you could use it to get to the dungeon, but there's definitely better ways to do it. Both garbage. Unfortunately, this third one's way over there. I'm going to have to break the clip here. Sorry to ruin the immersion. Number 10, least worst of the worst shortcuts, part 3, this northern wall of Falador. Now, this one's disappointing because it's actually got some promise. If you're a low level, you're coming from Edgeville, you're coming from Varrock, you could get into Falador this way, except, oh, no, it's a grapple shortcut. Grapple shortcuts are bullshit. That's a fact. Who carries this stuff around? I do because I'm making the video. Other than that, no one should ever have this. It does have a pretty sick animation, but realistically, who's going to use a grapple at any point? You do come on this wall where probably no one has set foot in about 10 years. These guards are dying of boredom. Oh, you can trick or treat. What? Oh, treat cauldron. Where would you store your treats? Dude, what? Dude, fuck you. I'm killing this guy. We're clipping it. It's going in the video. It's got to do with agility shortcuts. I'm wearing an agility cape. It'll work. I'm going to take too long to do this, so actually we're just going to cut to number 9. Next up at number 9, simply out of sheer obscurity. If you come all the way down the Yannel dungeon, you're going to go through this staircase and end up in a cave here, where you get an opportunity to climb up a pile of rubble. This actually leads to probably the most underused boss in this entire game. For whatever reason, it's a 67 agility requirement. You do get 5 XP, so that's a good grind to 99. And you can come down here and fight my guy, Salarin the Twisted, who no one ever kills, ever. This shortcut has gone pretty unused, I would say. You're garbage, man. I'm not even killing him, I'm telling you now. Screw that guy. Coming in here at number 8, we got the Dwarven Mine shortcut back in our favorite village of Falador, or rather below. Now this one's pretty useless because if you're going to the general store or anything like that, you're probably coming from the north, and all you're doing is cutting off this little wall here. If you're out here coming through to mine clay or copper, you are frankly out of your damn mind. And if you're coming from the south, you're not going for any of the stuff over there anyway. No one comes down here to mine. No one should be using this. Sorry, it's not worth it. And 42 agility? Come on. Who's going to have 42 agility if they're coming out here to mine some fucking copper? Get real. You know how every time you want to access the Elven lands and you don't want to use the underground pass, you have to go through Arandar because that's the only way? Yeah, I know, it sucks, right? Plus, you know, sometimes you just get the daily urge to run through this pass again. I'm there with you, but did you know there's actually 3 different agility shortcuts that can make this pass easier on our many journeys through it after the one time we visit it in the quest, because we come back here all the time. Even that hard clue, it's actually before even the first agility shortcuts, but just when you feel like making the run, you've got some nice rocks rolling through, which allows you to just cut off an absolutely massive swath of land here. Now, in a typical account's lifetime, you're looking at saving anywhere from 500 to 1,000 hours using these shortcuts. Very useful. Don't get killed by the wolves up top. Number 7. If you're sweaty enough to have level 55 agility, congratulations, you can use our number 6 most worthless shortcut in the game, and that's hopping from the docks to Etsateria. Now the reason this one's pretty freaking stupid is that there's a nice little bridge up here, and anytime you're doing the quest, you gotta go between the islands. That's how you're gonna want to do it. When you're coming back after the quest, no one sails here. Get real. Ferry ring, run across. You don't even go to Etsateria. You just put your money in on this side. I don't see any purpose to it. Maybe I had to pad out the list and find some shortcuts I didn't really know about, but don't worry, don't read into it too much. This one's pretty stupid, alright, so it belongs here. Cracking into the top half of the list here, number 5, if you come through to the Brimhaven Slayer dungeon, and honorable mention to this entire dungeon, not only the numerous agility shortcuts here, but everything is actually worthless at this point, and could frankly be deleted without anyone noticing for at least several years. But there's an agility shortcut here that stands out above the others, and that is just inside the entrance, this vine. Now you're going to need 87 agility here to climb this vine. Must be some pretty sick monsters up there, right? Yes, there are. It's baby green dragons for those gamers out there who struggle a little too much with the regular green dragons but somehow have 87 agility. Well, here's your safe haven. You can go ahead and clean up, get bones that give you less prayer XP. God, what a place. Now this next one at number 4 is the Viyaldi Caves Long Rope. Now, you don't really come back here except during the Legends quest. You're here, and there's also a clue step. So this one it's kind of helpful, right? But here's my annoyance with this shortcut. First, you need to install it with a long rope that costs 50k. Pretty annoying. But you do get to skip all of those climbing rocks. It's pretty nice. Useful for when you come back to clues, right? So why is this on the list, huh? Well, let me give you a little sampling of what I still had to do to get all the way down here every single time I have a clue step. Now this clip is played at 4 times speed, and it's still going to take too long. You have to go through and do everything you did in the Legends quest. Make sure that you don't forget a pickaxe, which I did my first time. Pissed me off. Don't forget lockpicks, and don't forget a charge orb spell. Also, every single gate you're going through, you're dealing with like 19 dialogue boxes, your character's saying things above its head. It reminds me of a time when the game was simpler and I played it just for fun, which makes the current me angry. It's very infuriating to do this every single time I need a clue, and finally, I've arrived here. Again, that was 4x speed, ridiculous. Okay, now instead of going through all of that shit, here's how it should be, right? Here's the rocks, little hole here, throw the rope in, right there. Easy enough, Jagex. Simple update. Yes, that cuts out all of the caves, and that's a long way, but hey, it's a long rope. First shortcut to crack onto the podium here. No, it's not the one getting to God Wars. There's actually another if you keep going on further. You may not know this because no one would ever use this as a way to get into the wilderness, but that is where you're going to end up. Go on past this hole. Who wants to kill any of the God Wars bosses and make any money? Not me. No thank you, Satan. I'm going to go up over these rocky handholds here, and after losing a hefty amount of my HP to these wolves, I'm just going to enter the wilderness and potentially risk getting attacked by another player. That's all good. Yeah, I'm totally fearless. Don't even sweat it. Down we go. And boom, my account's at risk. Actually, I have some stuff on here. Hopefully no one shows up. This shortcut is garbage. Absolutely deserves its spot at number 3. Next up here, we've got one you might be familiar with. It's the Shilo Village Rock Jump. Now this is going to get you from the mine to the southern part of the village. It's good for going to the bank and getting your tasks from Duradil. You might be wondering why it's on this list. It is useful if you're not a big gamer and you don't have the elite diaries done. Then you can just have the hards and run to get your tasks from Duradil. That's the only reason you'd ever be coming here. you're going to take the rocks and look at this timing right here. Oh, it's just going to take you 25 seconds. Now that timing is pretty important because now we're going to see what it looks like if you don't take the rock jump, and then maybe you'll understand why this is on the list. Now it's a fair trial here, all right? We started out on that east tile of the ladder right there last time. We're going to do the same thing. Click that timer, try and get started as quick as we can after it starts going. Each of these had maybe a half-second delay, so I'd say it's pretty fair. Now this is obviously going to wash up to be longer than using the agility shortcut, right? I mean, duh, it'd be absolutely ridiculous if I was adding on time to go and get my Slayer task from Duradil, right? It's just impossible. Fuck! In the spirit of fairness here, I did leave off one use case for that rock jump. Now on the north side of Shilo is this guy who does sell a fair amount of alcohol. So, you know, you could be here hanging out, get caught up, spend a little bit too much money. If you need to restock, this is definitely going to be your fastest bet for getting across the river to the bank to get a little more coin. So that does redeem it a bit and keeps it out number 1. Here we go, the number 1 most useless agility shortcut. Now after braving the black dragons and all of the monsters of that dungeon, maybe you want to come up here, charge some water orbs, or you did some fire orbs down below. Well, don't worry, you can get back to Catherby here by grappling to this tree. Now this is a one-way shortcut. It'd be pretty dope if you could come over here straight to the altar, because you would be way faster at charging all of your orbs. Aside from doing this once for a diary, nobody has ever used this tree for any practical purpose in the history of Gielinor. I mean, even if you're killing black dragons and you want to bank your loot or something, you would just teleport out and come back. You can't use the grapple to get back. It's pointless. I hate it. Get rid of it. Alright, so there you have it. The top 10 most useless agility shortcuts in old school RuneScape. This was a pretty fun one to do, and I do want to shout out this guy Deftums who gave me the idea. Thank you. If you have an idea that you'd like to see me do a countdown for, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about this one. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe, leave me a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching as always.